Here we are, clan the isms, cataclysm great. Our people out here struggling, trying to make it in the state. Everybody out here doing it, but we the ones who late. Our family, we the ones who gotta delegate. Get that money and the power, never be fake. Stick to code, stop for 3. What did he say? Create jobs, support our own. Educate the same poverty at your home. Got 3 degrees, triple 10, 3 PhDs, now we on the CNN. DBTV, let's talk about negligence. Ignorance is bliss, but we can turn it to intelligence. Believe none of what you hear, half of what you see. Let's break it down here, I'm Dr. Boyce TV.
Hey, what's going on, black people? What's happening? I'm Dr. Boyce Watkins, and welcome to Dr. Boyce TV and the Black Financial Channel. This is a home for intelligent black people. So if you're black and intelligent, throw your hands up. And also, if you're not black and intelligent, you probably want to leave because this is not for you. Anyway, I hope you guys are doing well. Do me a favor, shout out your city. Let me know what city you're coming from. Definitely hit that thumbs up button. Hit the thumbs up button. That's extremely important to help us to build black-owned media. And we are building it, and we are building it very, very fast. We're making movies and doing all kinds of stuff. Actually, if you go to the Black Business School, theblackbusinessschool.com, you can actually check out some of our films. One of our free films that we're going to offer is Resurrecting Black Wall Street, The Blueprint, because we believe every person in America should have the opportunity to see and hear about the story of Black Wall Street. And we did a film about that. We did a premiere in Chicago. It was sold out. It was totally packed. People were lined up going all the way down the block. Dorian Chandler did a great job on that film. And so feel free to go check it out, theblackbusinessschool.com, and ask them to let you see the free copy of Resurrecting Black Wall Street, and you can check it out there. Anyway, also welcome to everybody on the Black Financial Channel. Make sure you subscribe if you haven't done that yet. And let me break this down. Let me go ahead and jump into this conversation. Okay, so I see Miami and Houston and New York City and a lot of other cities. 713 says, I will start my business in 2 months. Good for you. Let us know how it goes. So Colin Kaepernick, Colin Kaepernick, as you know, is the brother who has been, through a lot of ups and downs. He is the guy that has caused some controversy, but for good reason. You know, he felt strongly about the shooting of black men by the police, and I think that that's a wonderful thing. I think that that he stood for a wonderful cause. Now, one area where controversy definitely emerged is the fact that Cap, seemed to really want a lot of people to get behind what he was doing. To the point where there was this weird thing going on where anybody who took a deal with the NFL after Kaepernick was kicked out was considered to be almost like a traitor or somebody breaking a strike. And there's more to talk about with that, and I'll bring that up in a second. But here's the latest. The latest is that Kaepernick has been invited by several NFL teams, by the entire NFL actually, to do a private workout. They invited him. They reached out for whatever reason. I don't know why. I don't know what happened. I don't know if Jay-Z's working behind the scenes, being the covert agent. I have no idea. But I do know that they invited him in for a workout, and that was announced. And I think it's cool. I think as a black man, I think it's great. I don't see why you wouldn't let him play. The other cool thing is, I'm a football fan. And I know how many teams out there need quarterbacks. Any football fans in the house, if you watch football, let me know if you're a football fan. Some of y'all may not watch football, right? But I watch football, and one thing I love about Alicia is that she loves football. I thank her older brother all the time, who used to be a football star. I say thank you so much for teaching her the rules, because we love to watch football together, and that really strengthens our relationship. So I'm just telling you, ladies, people get mad. They call me sexist when I give women relationship advice, but I'm just telling you, if you want to connect with your man, if you know the rules of football, you're gonna be 2 steps ahead of that little big booty thought down the street who's trying to steal him with sex. I'm telling you, the woman that can watch a football game with you is an awesome woman. Fellas, please confirm that if you believe that to be true. Tell me if you think that's a fact. Dante says facts. I agree. I'm telling you, having a beautiful woman next to me who does not give me shit about watching football is an absolute blessing. Now, what's the other side of that is I had a homeboy who loved to watch his Saturday football. Saturday college football was a ritual for him, and he had this crazy feminist of a girlfriend who literally would give him shit every time the football game came on. Every time Saturday came around, he'd want to watch football. She'd want to go do something else and tell him to do this and tell him to go do that. And I remember thinking, I ain't gonna say nothing, but this shit ain't gonna last. I ain't saying nothing though, because she don't know that watching college football was like going to church for him. Now imagine telling a black woman that she can't go get her Jesus and see how quick she boots you out of her life. For real, seriously. Like think about it, a Jesus-loving black woman. Imagine if you went into her life and said, we're not going to church anymore. I'm not supporting you. I don't want you going to church anymore. Your ass will be dumped by Tuesday, right? So that's what happens. So next thing you know, she's all pissed off because he found a woman that was okay with him watching football. See, you got to support your partner's dreams. I'm just telling you got to support your partner's dreams. Anyway, let me keep going. All right, so I got off tangent a little bit, but not too far off. Let's come back to Colin Kaepernick. So Colin Kaepernick is a guy who should be in the NFL, right? There's no question. Colin Kaepernick is a great football player. He's damn sure better than some of these scrubby ass sons of bitches they got on the field right now. Some of these guys are so bad. I'm sitting here thinking, man, you can't even play at the YMCA, let alone the NFL. Just terrible quarterbacks. I believe that he has been blackballed. I think that was clearly established. I think that they're, when they say, oh, we're not blackballing him, we're just making logical business decisions. But then you show statistics on quarterbacks that are far worse than Kaepernick, who are on NFL rosters. It's just real clear what's really going on. And I personally never understood exactly why they were so mad at him. Now I did understand the NFL's dilemma. You see, the NFL's dilemma is that they're one of the few institutions that can draw the bridge between, the radical black person on the left with the country redneck, with the shotgun on the back of his pickup truck, on the right? The MAGA hat wearer over here, Black Lives Matter over there. The guys, they get together for Sunday football, and a lot of the women do as well, right? And I think that that's their delicate position. They're sort of almost like the Switzerland of American culture, one of the few places in this society where people come together and politics goes out the door, and everybody just gets together to cheer for the Cleveland Browns, or they all get together because they love, the New York Giants or the Dallas Cowboys or whatever. They've done a good job of strengthening their franchises, and I think that's awesome. And now the problem is, that when you're in that position where you're bringing all these people together and you want them to just focus on sports, it kind of becomes a little awkward when somebody says, well, there's more to life than sports. And Colin Kaepernick made a legitimate point to say, look, I'm a black man. Many of your players are black men. We as black men have an issue with the fact that black men are being shot in the street. And here we are, the most prominent black men in our community. We should be doing something about this. And I thought that was a noble stand. I thought it was wonderful. I was very, very proud of him and happy for him when he did that. What I was not happy with, though, was later on down the line when I felt that it almost got to the point where Kaepernick almost seemed to self-define himself as a rite of passage for anybody who wanted to go do business with the NFL. Look, it's one thing if you walk away from the NFL and you just don't want NFL money. Jim Brown did that. Jim Brown said, F the NFL, I'm gone. Keep your money, pay it to whoever you want. It don't matter to me. Hire as many black people as you want, but you won't hire this Negro, right? Cap was sort of like, I'm filing lawsuits, I'm filing grievances, I want money, I want a settlement, I want to come back, I want my job back, I want to get a Nike deal, and he's collecting money for these things, right? These are things that are getting him money. He's cheering on his friends who are making money from the NFL. And I thought it was a little bit problematic when you're taking so much money from the NFL, but yet you then turn around and tell Jay-Z or whoever it is, or some rapper or whoever, like, hey, you can't take money from the NFL. I'm the only one who can take money from the NFL. That's not cool. Like, that doesn't make any sense. That comes off a little bit weird and hypocritical. And in a way, another example of that. And this is why you got to be careful about taking too many hardline positions on topics, because it's easy to get caught in a box of hypocrisy. Another example, actually in a different arena, is right now Byron Allen's about to go up with his lawsuit against Comcast in the Supreme Court. Now, I support the lawsuit. I support Byron Allen completely. But one of the points that Vicky Dillard made actually today on FlyNewBeingQueenTV.com is that one of Byron Allen's biggest supporters in the black space is a guy named Antonio More, who writes for The Griot, who also is the founder of the ADOS movement. Well, the funny thing is, like, so because Byron and Tone are best buddies, Byron, or they're friends. I think they're friends. Like, I assume Byron hired Tone and, stuff like that, and he likes the platform. So he's all in favor of Byron, go, Byron, go, Byron, go. But the sad part about that is that, for many, many years, he and Yvette Carnell have pretty much bashed all black capitalists. black people that have businesses have pretty much been seen as bad. That do for self black people are bad. Those who are building industry are bad, right? And so, you spent all these years sort of saying, that so-called black capitalists are bad, but here now your hero is a black capitalist because that person's your friend. And so basically, I think that a better solution to that would be to instead of saying all black people that do a certain thing are bad, how about you nuance it a little bit and leave yourself wiggle room for moderation. So with going back to Colin Kaepernick, I think Kaepernick caught himself in that same dilemma. This whole idea, this is a financial conversation at this point. And I understand capitalism and money and all these things. This is what my PhD's in. And one of the things that Kaepernick caught himself in was this whole trick. They sucked black activists into the left. They sucked them into the communist, socialist dimension of society. I went through that when in Chicago, when there was a group that was recruiting people for the Communist Party. And because the Communist Party is very thick, in like sort of Hyde Park of Chicago, right near the University of Chicago. They're very thick. And I remember I didn't know I was being recruited for the Communist Party. They reached out to me because they said, "Oh, you're a friend of Cornel West." And I said, "Yeah, I am. I love Cornel West." They said, "Okay, well, why don't you come to our rally? We're going to protest police brutality." I said, "Okay, yeah, I don't believe in police brutality either." But then next thing I know, everybody's calling each other comrade, and they're giving me these communist newspapers and asking me to join the Communist Party and give money to their communist causes. I said, "Man, I'm not trying to be a communist. I don't want to be a communist. I'm not a capitalist either. I don't want to be a communist. I'm not trying to get stuck in no white folks groups. I'm serious like that. I'm not doing any of that. I don't want. No, you. I feel like you suckered me, and now you got me on the phone and you bumming me for money and you getting on my damn nerves. So I'm hanging up on your ass right now because you're not going to tell me what kind of man I'm going to be and where my opinion needs to exist." So this is what happens. Black people kind of get co-opted by pre-existing ideologies that pretty much are white folks' problems. These are white folks' issues. Communist versus capitalism, like that's more of a white folks thing. I think black people have the ability because I do believe we get this from the motherland. There's something about our melanin and our DNA that allows us to be balanced with the universe a little bit better, balanced with nature a little bit better. Do you understand what I'm saying? That balance with family a little bit better. Like we're not. Most black women I know are not. They're not sort of like the feminists who think that having a baby means you're a loser and that babies are horrible and that you should abort a baby because you don't have enough money. Most black mothers are like, it was hard to raise the baby, but shit, I guess I can go buy some milk and diapers and, like, I'm proud to be a mother, right? Because mothers give life. And that's one of the things that makes me special, right? So my point is to say that the same thing happens in politics. We've got these extreme positions out here and they suck us in. And I saw Colin Kaepernick using a lot of very high left, extremely left rhetoric, very almost sounded again a lot like, like a communist, not that that's bad. Some elements of communism are okay. Some elements of socialism are okay. But, when you get in that communist socialist space and then you start demonizing any black person who makes any money, you're doing two things. One, you're pledging to keep the black community poor, right? You're giving the whole black community a vow of poverty that they didn't ask for. Right? Then number two, you're putting yourself in a hypocritical position so that when you start making money or you start benefiting from the very same capitalism you've been vilifying, then people can look at you and say, well, hey, wait a minute, look at you. You getting paid. Like, there's nothing more laughable. I went through this with my good friend Mark on my hill as well. Mark and I don't agree on anything, but I love this, bro. I do anything for him. If he's on the side of the road and needed a ride, I will pull over and take him wherever he wanted. But Mark sort of came in, again, when I was talking about the Popeyes thing, and I was saying, it's crazy that black people are getting in line and killing each other over this damn chicken. What the hell's going on, right? And Mark said something about, well, these finance professors, they want to make all their money off capitalism. They preach capitalism as black liberation, but then they make fun of black people who are victims of capitalist consumption. And I was kind of like, I didn't even want to try to put nobody on blast, but I was like, brother, I seen your car. I saw the Jaguar that you're driving down the street, and I know that you got a bunch of that money from Fox News. Last I checked, Fox News is a capitalist organization. You were getting big checks from Fox. So I was like, come on, man. Like, do we got to all be poor in order for this to work? Like, yes or no? Do you think black people have to be poor for us to be good people? Like, seriously, do we got to all be broke in order for us to be good people? Give me a yes or no. Like, do black people have to be just butt naked broke, living in the street, hungry as hell, can't feed your kids, can't buy a pair of shoes, can't get a new pair of socks, can't even afford to walk your dog in order for us to still be righteous and decent human beings? No. The answer is hell no. Man, I want you to be paid. I want you to be good. I want you to be wealthy. We have made enough white people rich to last 85,000 lifetimes. I want to make some black people rich too. I want to support some black businesses. I want to see some black people learn about wealth. I want to see them building institutions that employ thousands of black people. I want to see black people win. I do not, I think that when you get into this, and this is why, and Cap got caught in this. This is why I'm bringing this up with Cap. This whole like, you're a dirty capitalist. What does that mean? What are you trying to say? Are you trying to say that you hate me because I made money and you didn't? How about we work together so we can both make money? Right? Because I know you want money. You just mad right now because you can't say Cap didn't want money. I'm not dissing Cap. This is not a diss. This is just an observation. Because we know Cap wanted money, but we also know Cap sort of made these little slick remarks. He never really tweets. He never says much on Twitter. He kind of just retweets other people's stuff. So you got to be able to read Kaepernick. It's like a special language, right? So it's very passive aggressive, but it was, I guess, because of the lawsuits and all that makes sense. That's cool. But seriously, I think that we've got to get out of this mindset where somehow, because capitalism and the way white folks have done it has destroyed the country the way it has. It really has. Reaganomics was very bad for America in many, many ways I can go into in another lecture. But, we don't have to sort of think that in order for us to prosper economically, we've got to copy the business model of the same white people who enslaved us for money. In fact, if that's what your goal is to just be a darker version of a white guy, I can't support that, because we know what that led to. We know that led to slavery being the number one source of wealth in America, because you're not supposed to like enslave a human being in order to get paid. That's not cool, right? So moving on. Let me make another point about Kaepernick. Hit the thumbs up button. If you haven't hit the thumbs up button, please hit the thumbs up button. If you're watching on the Black Financial Channel, please subscribe and hit the notification bell. It's theblackfinancialchannel.com. We're trying to build something up in here, and I would love for you guys to just help us a little bit. Please just share it. We can use your support in this army, because what we're trying to do is build black media and build intelligent black media and build righteous black media, in the sense that we're not going to be perfect, but we want unity and we want strength and we want power, and we don't want no more begging. Like, no begging. We have a no begging philosophy. Doesn't mean you don't ask for things, but man, I'm tired of us begging. I'm tired of us feeling like the only way we can get ahead is if somebody gives us permission, or somebody passes a law, or somebody decides to write a check. No, I think black people, we write a lot of checks for other people. We save the world so we can save ourselves. Okay, so please hit the thumbs up button, hit the share button, notification bell, and also some of you are asking about this shirt. We have a whole bunch of really cool t-shirts at wokeblacktees.com. That's wokeblacktees.com. So if you're part of all of this and this is your ideology, feel free to go to wokeblacktees.com and grab your couple shirts, because these shirts are really dope and my team is really good. All right, so the last piece. So Kaepernick's going to go work out for the NFL teams. I'm really happy for him. I think that it's going to be. I think he's going to show them exactly what I know he's going to show them, which is that the boy's good. He ain't a boy. He's a big ass man. But I'm just saying it in a slangish kind of way. Like, the boy good. The boy good. Like, Kaepernick is big and strong and fast and can throw. The black quarterbacks are very popular right now. I'm really happy. Lamar Jackson from my hometown of Louisville. I'm from the Ville. Lamar Jackson played in Louisville. Now he's just shining with the Ravens, and I just love seeing him like blow up the way he has. So the black quarterback is in style. The black quarterback is kicking ass right now in the NFL. So Kaepernick is a perfect fit for what we're seeing right now in the league. Now, here's the problem. In fact, I'm gonna structure this as a yes or no question. That'll lead to a point. Yes or no? Yes or no? Yes or no? Give me a yes or no. Do you believe that in these workouts that the NFL is going to give give Kaepernick a fair shake? Like, do you really believe that they really are considering bringing him in, or do you think that they're just, this is a dog and pony show? They're just gonna work him out just so they can say that they did it. Okay, I see nope from Eric and Steph and Alicia and Salticio and Alan. I'm seeing a lot of no's. I'm not seeing. Okay, Quita says yes. Okay, Saltizio says hell no. Elijah no. Yeah, I'm seeing a lot of no's. Okay, Stu Jersey, I see you say yes. Okay, so it's the ratio of yeses to no's is about 1 to 20, 1 to 10, 1 to 15, somewhere around there. I'm gonna go with no, because I think that they're full of shit. I do. I really believe that this is for show. I think they're going to work him out just so they can say that nobody wants him. I don't know why they're doing the workout. Maybe somebody got them to do it, but I just can't see why. It's very weird that they would reach out and voluntarily offer him the opportunity to work out. Hey, Cokes, you need something? Oh, sorry. let's take a quick commercial break as we talk to our children. Please hit the thumbs up button and the notification bell while we do that. And if you want to get notified when I go live, text the word Boyce to 31996. So we're going to talk to children for a moment. Aren't they wonderful? Yes, Coco.
I need to grab a picture of Stan Lee.
You need a picture of Stan Lee. Okay, you got to print it out.
Yeah.
Okay. How about you give me like 10 minutes? Can you give me 10 minutes?
Yeah, it has to be kind of small.
Okay. All right. In 10 minutes, we can get a picture of Stan Lee.
Okay.
All right. Come back down in 10.
What?
You can come back down in 10, or you can hang out here. Hang out here. Or you can hang out and listen. Hang out with, I'm going to finish. We're talking about Colin Kaepernick. Okay, what's up to you? You do your thing. 10 minutes. All right. Okay, so we're going to have to print a picture of Stan Lee very, very soon. So y'all know, y'all come on, like y'all. I'm sure y'all got kids too. But anyway, all right. So and kids are awesome, by the way. They are the biggest blessing on earth, even when they don't feel like the biggest blessing. But you gotta love them. All right. So and she's a smart one. She makes straight A's on her report cards and everything. So I'm really proud of her. All right. So here's what I think. I think that they are going to. This is a game. I really believe this is a game. I believe that they are going to just interview him. Bring him in, work him out so they can waste his time. It reminds me of when I graduated. I remember I finished my doctorate at Ohio State, and something weird happened. What happened was I started getting all these interview requests from these schools that normally did not interview Ohio State graduates. You see, PhD programs are very elitist. In my field, they were. You usually did not interview at a school that was above your school. You usually interviewed at schools that were beneath your school. So for example, if you went to an Ivy League school, you might interview at a Big Ten school. If you went to a Big Ten school, you might interview at, say, an SEC school, right? You follow me? If you went to an SEC school, you might interview at a, whatever's below that, right? And, not that SEC schools are bad. I got my bachelor's from an SEC school, University of Kentucky. But on a doctoral scale, SEC schools are not the same as Ivy League. They're very, very different. So if you ever get a PhD or something like that, just know where you go to school will pretty much shape your opportunities. It's not going to go outside of that usually. But here's what was happening to me. I was graduating from Ohio State. I was getting interviews at schools up here. I was getting calls from, NYU. I think, Yale, other Ivy League schools were reaching out saying, hey, we'd love to interview. We'd really love to interview. We don't have any diversity. We'd love to interview you, right? And I'm thinking, oh, I must be the shit. I must be amazing. Look at me. I'm popping my collar because I must be so smart that they see the greatness that is Dr. Boyce Watkins, right? Well, I'm not going to say I wasn't great. I think my stuff is very good. But that wasn't the case. It was a game. You see, the game is that universities, their departments would get pressure. They would, people would say, "Look, you're not hiring any black people. You haven't promoted a black man or black woman in the last 40 years, and so you need to bring some people in." So the problem is they couldn't force them to hire any black people, but they could force them or pressure them to interview black people. And what they would do is they would interview black people just so they could say, "Look, hey, we interviewed 8 black candidates, and none of them were qualified." Now, it was some bullshit in terms of why they would not pick black people. It was like, I remember a lady that interviewed at Syracuse who was damn good. I saw her; she was perfect, collegial, friendly, and everything. And then they were like, so why didn't you said you're looking for a black candidate? She's perfect in every chart. Why did you not hire her? And they were like, "Oh, we just don't think she's a good fit." And we're like, "What does that mean?" "Oh, we just don't think she's a good fit." You're saying that her skin is not a good fit. That's your damn problem. That's why you haven't hired a black person in 30 years, because you want to keep it white, right? And that's one of the reasons why I highly suggest that all of you, when you're raising children, give your kids a plan B that allows them to leave the economic system that exists in America. Because this system, see, what you think is racism really is not so much just racism. It's really them not inviting you into their exclusive little clubs. And if all you think you can do is get into their club and you don't see the whole world that's around you of all the other places you can go, then you're going to feel like you're being kept from your opportunities. Nobody can keep you from having the ability to practice whatever it is you're good at. If you're an actress, I told an actress this who was a playwright and an actress. She said, "Oh, well, I'm looking for opportunities. It's just hard to get opportunities on Broadway because the jobs are so scarce and blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, but you're an actress. You're brilliant. You're a playwright. Go read the story of Tyler Perry and how Tyler Perry wrote his own play and put his own play on. And all he had to do was get the Capitol. I said, and then she was going through stuff where, because she's like, I'm a Southern black Christian woman and I'm not for the LGBT agenda. So my professors tell me I'm bad. They tell me I'm not going to make it on Broadway. And I'm like, well, but you got an audience out there. You got black people that'll come see your plays, but you can't come out in this world as a black person trying to dress as a white person. You're going to fail. You're going to be second best. You need to come out and be yourself. And you need to look at all the opportunities that exist for you outside of their exclusive little club. So, my argument is that, translating this back to Kaepernick, I feel for Kaepernick. I think it's wrong that he can't play football. He's very, very good at what he does. But I kind of felt like, I would have loved to see this as this is screaming to be the opportunity for black people to start our own league. Black people play football better than anybody. You don't think we have people that can that know how to set up a business? You don't think that we have enough money in our community to fund and support a sport? You don't think we have the resources? You don't think you can do anything with that 1.3 trillion, which actually is probably enough money for you to buy the Dallas Cowboys 3,000 times or whatever? I don't know what the number. I got to do the math. My point is to say, think about this. Sometimes you got to think bigger. If you go back to when the NFL got started, by a bunch of guys who were pretty much economic scrubs. They didn't have nearly as much money as Kaepernick and Jay-Z and all of our celebrities and LeBron and all these guys. They just had a vision. They had a dream. They set up their league. The Chicago Bears were purchased for about $500. Or maybe it's $100. It was some ridiculous amount of money. Now the Bears are worth almost $3 billion. And that's just literally a couple generations later. The original founders of the Chicago Bears, the original people who bought the Chicago Bears, many of them died maybe less than a couple of decades ago. So my point is to say that in less than one person's lifetime, you can literally turn a few $100 into a couple of billion, or at least that's what happened with the original NFL. Black people are sitting on the resource. We have the athletes in our community. They're from our hood. They're in our families. So, this gold is buried in our backyard. It's not like we have to go import athletes. Athletes already exist. White folks have to import athletes in order for their league to exist because they know the best athletes in the world are in the black community. So they come to your community to get their athletes to help to make them rich, the same way they go to Africa to get gold and all the other natural resources that they don't naturally have on their cold, nasty, deserted continents. So at the end of the day, my point is to say, that I kind of think it's fine. I think the boycott honestly was exhausting. The whole, nobody can get money from the NFL until they give me money. That's kind of crazy. I see my brother here, Chi. Says rumor. Thank you for your donation. Chi says rumors have it that Oakland Raiders signed Cap. I think that would be interesting. I think it'd be good. It will make sense because the Raiders, they took a chance on Antonio Brown, and I could see them taking a chance with Kaepernick. But I think that one of the things that keeps us from starting our own organizations is that we sometimes seem to think that it takes $10 billion to do it. I think that a lot of times we compare our businesses to white businesses, which are much more well-funded and much bigger in scale and have a very different ideology than we do. And it makes us feel like we can't do it. So the problem, though, is that a lot of white businesses have a different view of capitalism. Their view is we must go conquer the world. We must reach, $1 billion in revenue every year. We must grow at a certain percentage every year. We must be number one in our industry. You don't have to do that in order to start a business. So I would almost say that, you have to remember, in order to have a football league, all you got to do is have the ability to put on a football game. High schools can put on football games. Do you know there are high schools that have games that thousands of people attend and millions of dollars are made every year in a fucking high school football league? So if high schools can pull it off, why can't we pull it off? Seriously. Sometimes it's not that we lack resources. I think we lack vision. And so I think Kaepernick getting into the NFL is fine. That's good for the white men that sign him. The white people that sign him are going to make plenty of money from Kaepernick. I think that's great. But I don't think the community wins. The community never wins when one person wins. That's not a win for the community. It's a win in terms of symbolism, and that's what makes you feel better. So I think we should look for more community wins and not just symbolic wins. So what I wish Kaepernick the best. Somebody said that they don't think he's that good. I saw your comment in there. Maybe he's not, but I know that the guy went to a Super Bowl, and I know that he got a massive contract from the 49ers, and so I think he deserves a chance. He may not be the best player in the NFL, but he certainly ain't the worst quarterback. That much we can agree on, I hope. All football fans in here, I hope you agree with me that he definitely ain't the worst quarterback in the NFL. All right, so just a reminder, guys, real quick. I'm doing my stock market investing masterclass pretty soon. We're going to start soon. So if you'd like to at least check out the recordings of the previous masterclasses and you want to learn investing, go to drboycemasterclass.com. That's drboycemasterclass.com. Also, we're doing a seminar with attorney Nicole Compton on the 26th on how to form the perfect estate plan. So if you'd like to learn estate planning, transferring wealth from your to your children, trusts and wills and all that stuff, all that legal stuff that's difficult for a lot of people, feel free to go to drboyceseminars.com. That's drboyceseminars.com. And you guys also know, and I'm going to keep mentioning this so you guys know, as we're getting ready for this trip, I started making more arrangements to go to Ghana. Mike Roberts and I are going to go out there along with another delegation of people. I'm taking my son David as well, and we're going to go back to the motherland, and we're going to see what's in Ghana in terms of economic opportunity. And so if I find anything interesting, I will definitely report all that, and I'll also be reporting things when I am in Ghana as well. So thank you very much, and good to see you again, Vicky Dillard. Love you, sister, and love you guys, and make sure you subscribe and hit the thumbs up button and notification bell. I will talk to you soon. Take care. Peace.